Hello everyone, my name is Phil, and together with Camilo, Dan, and John, we are the Game Pack. Welcome to the 37th episode of our gaming news podcast, the PackCast. We've got plenty to talk about this week. It's time to start thinking about E3. The attendance list was leaked. Witcher 3 sales are up a staggering amount after the launch of the Netflix show. Atlus says, strong believer in never giving up hope. I think I wrote this quote down wrong. Atlus basically says if you want Persona 5 Royal on the or Persona 5 on the Switch, you got to beg for it. Also, we will be having a short spoiler-free discussion of Sonic. And if you want more, make sure to check out the spoiler-ridden Sonic review video that went up earlier this week. And as always, we will close out the show with this week's new releases and what we've been playing. With all that being said, let's get into our first story. E3 attendees were leaked, so a link on the E3 website accidentally contained a list of the attending companies. It was going to go up in like a day or two, so it's like not a huge leak. But the E3 list is not complete and is going to be continued to be updated. So an omission on this list that I'm about to read doesn't mean it won't show up later. For example, Nintendo is confirmed, but they aren't on this list at the time of the leak. So here's the publishers that have been confirmed for E3 2020. We have Activision, we have Amazon Game Studio, we have Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Capcom, Epic Games, Calypso Media Group, NCSoft, RDS Industries Inc., Sega, Square Enix, Take-Two, Tencent, THQ Nordic, Ubisoft, Entertainment SA, Unnamed VR by Paracosma, and Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. Oh, and Xseed. Xseed is that Tales? Is that the Tales games? Xseed?
I don't know.
Xseed is definitely a JRPG company. I don't remember which one they make, though. I'm sorry. So, is there anybody on the list that you guys expected to see show up?
I thought Sony would be there because of the PS5 launch.
Yeah.
But I guess they're going to do something on their own.
I mean, what are they going to do? Just a giant state of play?
Well, they had, like, when they announced
they've done, like, 2 years ago, or, like, they haven't done it every year. It's called the PSX, yeah, PlayStation Experience.
Okay.
Where it's, like, their own convention, and they, like, do their own thing.
But don't they do it, like, 6 feet away from E3?
Well, they do the PSX, like, 6 months after.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
who am I thinking of that has a convention?
That's EA.
Oh, yeah. EA has, like, a convention that's, like, literally across the street.
The EA Play or whatever.
Yeah. It's just like, why not play with the kids, man? Like, why you got to do your own thing?
Because you're fighting for the spotlight.
Yeah, that's true. I guess the idea is that if you don't do E3, that you have 100% control of when your information is out and all the messaging around it.
Plus, they're like a day before E3. Like, EA is like a day before E3.
Oh.
Yeah, and I also feel like when you set it up along the same timeline as EA, everyone's going to be searching for tech news anyway, and they're going to find you whether or not you're at the EA event or the E3 event.
Right. Well, I mean, I feel like the way that information is dispersed has changed greatly since the invention of E3, because it's not even just for like industry journalists anymore. Like they open it up for everybody people now. So,
which kind of defeats the purpose, right?
I guess. I just think
it's meant for companies to show off to investors what's coming up. But
there's no money in that.
But yeah, but I don't think in the beginning that was the goal to like tell the public what's coming up, right?
Yeah. I mean, with today's connectivity, what it was is very much a relic of the past. And in order to stay relevant, they needed to rebrand. And whether or not they were successful with the rebranding to be something relevant in today as well is, you know,
this
a good question.
This list doesn't look that much different than last year's. Like, I don't see anything blaringly obvious that's missing. Like Microsoft's not on here, but they already said that they're going to be there. Mm-hmm. I don't know what else. Google, maybe.
Where's Atari?
I don't think they've been there.
So I think somebody else owns Atari, anyways.
But like Google's not there, and they have Stadia. So
wait, who owns Blizzard?
Activision.
Oh, it was the first one. There we go. I don't know why I had a mental brain fart on that one. Yeah, I agreed. There's nobody blaring off this list. But yeah, like we were saying, it's like they're competing for the spotlight. Dan, did you say that?
Like, no, I said that.
Why did I get your voices confused?
I don't know.
You're giving Dan credit for stuff.
Yeah, I guess. So, like, if they're announcing this brand new game, like, say, if Sega is announcing this brand new game, like, they're all this great new RPG or something, and then Square Enix comes out and they're announcing a brand new RPG, like they're competing with, like, which one is going to get traction, like, which are people going to be more excited about, like, oh, wow, like, they both are, like, what was it, the Samurai games? There's, like, 3 Samurai games, and, like which is going to be the best one?
Yeah, there's Neo.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima.
And what was the, there's
Sekiro, but that was last year.
Yeah. But it's just like, yeah, you're like competing with, like, what if I wanted to make like a cool samurai game? I got to go up to E3 and like compete with all these dudes. Like, that's crazy. I would take my following, like if I was Nintendo, and just do a direct and be like, here you go. This is my information on my terms. There you go.
If we ever get a direct again.
Not talking about that today.
So much for those rumors we talked about last week.
So we kind of covered that first question, and then my next question was, with Sony and Jeff Keighley not in attendance this year, it seems like it seems like every year E3 is dying, like a little bit more. Everyone's like, oh, E3 is dying, it's irrelevant. How do you guys personally see the future of E3? Because I'll just say my opinion quickly, because it's not that complex. I foresee it turning into more of a con, where like people come, they talk about games, people bring games, they sell games. It's just like a very cool thing. There's also going to be people will announce things there, but it'll be more like Comic-Con. It'll be a thing for the it'll be a thing for the fans, and I think it's gonna kind of move away from this just announcement fest. You know what I mean? For journalists, I think it's going away from that. But
that sounds like a very reasonable assumption. Yeah, I can definitely see it happening.
Plus, like, all these companies could put out things like directs all the time fairly easily. So
yeah, it's kind of like you don't really need E3 anymore.
No.
Like
Sony wasn't there last year.
Like, you don't need that stage to get the information out. If they want to make announcements, like, companies can just do that anyway now.
Yeah.
I will say that I personally think it's cool and get excited for like that 3 to 5 days when like all of these major companies,
press conferences.
Yeah, like all the press conferences are exciting to watch. Like, I like watching like world premiere. Like, that is, I get jacked up for that, man. Like, I like it. So like, I hope that like in the future, even if it does kind of turn into like a Gamescom thing, that like they still do this kind of Gamescom's the Germany one, right?
Yeah, it's in Germany.
I get excited for these, but there's always that like excitement when E3 is happening, and then there's like this immediate low as soon as it's over.
Because you're like,
now there's like months until these games have come out. So, and like, I'd rather if it's spread out, like these companies are like doing their own events throughout the year. It makes it feel like there's more mini E3s throughout the year instead of like this blast and then like the immediate low right after it.
Yeah, especially if you're expecting something to be announced and then it doesn't, and you're like, oh, I guess I have to wait till next year. But
Metroid
now,
Prime 4.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to.
Or you could just wait the rest of your life for Metroid Prime 4, which is what I'm doing.
I'm actually surprised that not more companies are coming this year because we're going into a new generation.
Yeah, wouldn't they want to show off like what's coming up? It's Christmas, guys. Like, PS5 and Xbox Series X are coming out this Christmas. So like, everyone should be coming up and be like, this is our PS5 game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like that's what E3 should be this time, but I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it will be. Exceed. Gosh, somebody in the comments, please tell me what Exceed is. It's driving me crazy. I think it's maybe the Tales game.
It sounds right. It sounds like a JRPG company.
But yeah, that's kind of it, I guess, for the E3 conversation. Unless you guys had more stuff to add.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our next topic, which are the Witcher 3 sales that skyrocketed. And it's insane. They went up 554% since the Netflix show aired. That is so much. And the game has been up for years, and like so many people like already have it. So I'm just like, it blows my mind. It does make sense, but it just like blew my mind that like so many people like still didn't have it, or like maybe like the show is getting people back into games. Like, is that possible? Like, because that number is so high.
A question about that number. Does that mean that the overall sales of that game increased by that much, or the amount at which they were currently selling?
Yeah, that's
got a little bit of a
kind of worded weird.
554% from when?
I think it's basically like, okay, they were selling like X number per week, and then they times that by like 5
by almost 6 times.
There was also there was that
6 times, yeah.
There was that story where the concurrent players on Steam was the highest it's ever been, like right after the show aired, and it sucks for CD Projekt Red or whoever developed that game, because you could get that game for like $5.
Well, if you go to GameStop now, they've even like marked up the price on, because you used to be able to get it for like $14-15, but now they've like raised the price to like $35.
It's on Game Pass. You get that for free.
You could get it for free. I already own it. And
what is the percentage of Switch copies? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. I only got one number because I thought it was big enough to have a discussion about.
We need details.
Okay, so I thought sales would increase, but this is insane. What do you guys think about this? Just individually, what do you guys think? Did you think that it would go that high? 6 times the amount of normal sales?
I mean, almost like so many people have Netflix, and probably just stumbled across the show, and maybe they have like an Xbox or PS4 already or something, and they're like, "Let me check it out," kind of thing. Because it's probably not. It's been out for a while. I assume it's not full price, or like
it's still pretty niche. Like, it's an RPG. It's like a hardcore RPG. So people might not be exposed to it.
At least it's a hardcore action RPG.
Yeah.
And that there's not turn-based combat in it.
I'm not surprised at all, because the Netflix show, like, it's really popular. Everybody's watching. Everybody's talking about it.
It was the highest premiered show on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's a really great show. I think it was really well done. But I want to allude to a conversation we had pre-podcast.
Okay.
And how you guys were making fun of me for doing TikTok, but the whole point is to get exposure.
That will never stop.
So the whole point is to get exposure, and once you get exposure, you bring those people elsewhere.
Okay.
And that's exactly what happened here.
Do you know what you actually just did, though? Is you're just promoting your TikTok during our podcast right now?
Yeah. Follow Johniibo on TikTok.
I don't appreciate this. So, yeah, follow Johniibo on TikTok so that he'll stop talking to us about it.
Where's our Game Pack shout-out on your TikTok?
Yeah.
You'll get one. Don't worry.
Nice.
Let's see. So then my other question was, of all of these new purchases of The Witcher 3, how many people are going to beat the game?
Not many.
I'm going to say 2.
No, 2%?
No. 2 people. 2 people.
It's a long game.
It's a very long game. And it has a complicated system of like
I'll say like a few percent.
And if you're not playing on easy mode, it ain't easy.
I just want to know if people like understand what they're getting themselves into, or if they just bought the game being like, hey, it's The Witcher, I need to check it out.
Yeah. Or if they're just like, oh man, that was dope, I should get the game, and then it just sits on their shelf.
Guaranteed 80% of people stop playing after the first hour.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's a slog. It's a very slow start.
How long does it take to see a pair of exposed Jigglies?
Actually, I don't think that long.
Not that long.
The opening scene? No, she's like in the tub, but like I don't think you'd see anything.
In Witcher 2, it's like a minute. It's immediate in The Witcher 2. But yeah, I would say that it would retain people's attention until whatever minute that is.
It's a good game, like from what I played, but it is definitely a slow burn.
I love it.
I mean, it won Game of the Year.
I love The Witcher.
Yeah, but it's like people have different tastes in games. Like RPGs are not everybody's thing.
I think it's a wonderful, wonderful game. Fully realized, amazing world based off
voice acting.
Based on yeah, it's got voice acting for like everything. And it's based on really cool source material. I've read 2 of the books in preparation for the Netflix show, which is based on the first 2 books. The Netflix show did a really good adaptation, which I just feel like it's all of this great symbiotic thing. It's just like the books are cool, the Netflix show is cool, and the game is cool. Like people are just getting on board with The Witcher, and the sales of that game reflect that. So it's pretty cool. Who here has played The Witcher and or likes The Witcher?
I've played part of The Witcher. Well, Witcher 3. I played like 10 hours of it.
I picked up The Witcher for a sale, Black Friday sale for cheap, the complete edition, but I haven't yet gotten a chance to pop it in.
What console? PlayStation?
PlayStation 4, yeah.
Cool. Camilo?
I have not played The Witcher, and I have not watched the show, so...
That's okay. You can collect. You can't collect pocket monsters in it, but you can collect. You can collect cards, and then
apparently Jigglypuffs are in there.
Yeah, there. Yeah, a couple of Jigglypuffs, and there's dialogue trees where you can just decide whether or not.
Some pseudo-woodos too, you know.
Heyo. That just derailed me so hard. Oh, Gwent. The card game.
The card game, yeah.
In that game is kind of cool. I really enjoyed it. They've tried to do a spin-off that kind of failed. It's also in this other game, Thronebreaker, which is another Witcher game, which is like a prequel. But Gwent is cool. So if you're into like collecting things and like strategy-based card games, there's also that. So I don't know. But yeah. So I don't think a lot of the people who bought that game are actually going to beat it. I think they bought it because they liked it, and it's probably going to sit on their shelf. But I just really thought that was a super interesting stat, and I wanted to bring it up on the podcast because
very misleading stat potentially.
Could be.
It's probably 554% like year over year or something.
I don't know.
Because if it's all time, a big number. That's massive. If it's weekly, maybe not so much.
I volunteer you as tribute to look that up and then put a little like asterisk at the bottom of the screen right now.
Well, it would look jarring. Say you sold 1,000 copies one week, and then the next week you sell 500,000 copies. That's pretty jarring.
I mean, because they're not selling like 10 copies a week. Like it's a lot.
No, yeah, they're selling like a couple thousand a week probably.
I think that's enough on The Witcher 3.
Got a little off topic.
Yeah, that's enough of The Witcher 3. So we're going to take a very short commercial break with a message from the editor. And we're back. And Atlus is making us beg. The Atlus communication director, Ari Advancula, I probably butchered that, but I tried my best. She said, if you want people, jeez, man, these quotes. If you know what you want, it's important to let us know. So she said, if you know what you want, it's important to let us know. And she also said, it's important to voice your opinion. Both of those quotes were in response to people wanting Persona 5 on Switch. So my questions to you guys are, should we need to beg or pester studios to just release games on platforms?
No. Sounds like she doesn't make the decision.
Yeah,
so.
That's a very PR response. But I feel like this harkens back to our last week's story about the Kickstarter for Wonderful 101.
Yeah, totally.
And like, why not just set up a Kickstarter? You know, everybody's doing it now.
I always
Kickstarter
thought
for Persona 5.
Yeah, Kickstarter for Persona 5 on Switch.
I always thought that Atlus had some deal with like PlayStation.
Yeah, they probably do.
No, like they don't.
But just for their mainline. I know there's ones on Nintendo platforms, but for like their brand new mainline games, I think like there's some contract with PlayStation.
But would Persona 5 Royale count as that?
What do you mean? That's only on PlayStation.
Yeah, but would it count as like part of their deal, or could that be moved elsewhere?
No, it's the same game. It's just like enhanced.
It's the definitive edition, right?
Not really, but
it's not. It's not
I'm
like
gonna
the same game with extra content.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to talk about it in my new video this week. But it's extra content, but they're also going to remove content because it's alternate.
So just the changing of certain things, like they're not removing like.
Well, like the base game is so big, it's like 100 hours long. So if they're adding more stuff to it, like they're gonna have to like chop some stuff out. Like they can't just keep adding stuff. Well, because it's a different story. How do you have like all the same stuff and extra stuff?
I don't know. Isn't that what DLC is?
But like, look at like Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. There are things that happen in Sun and Moon that didn't happen in Ultra Sun and Moon. If you change like the climax or like the story, like things are going to get removed.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just like an enhanced version with some extra content.
No, it's like an alt.
No, it's a different story.
No. I mean the Persona 5 Royale.
Oh, okay.
No, it's extra stuff, but there's like alternate stuff to it too. Because like there's things that have the same thing with like Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden. Like there are things that happen in Persona 4 that like didn't carry over to Golden because they like changed stuff. So
like 3% of people are gonna know the changes, so it's not a big deal.
I don't know. The Persona fan community is like pretty big.
But that many people that actually
it's not gonna be like they like nitpick. It's not like gonna be a nitpick difference change. It's gonna be like massive story changes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool.
I feel like going back to the question a little bit, like, do we need to beg studios to release games? There's something to be said. Like, there's definitely an added cost when you go to a different console, especially one that has cartridges. Mm-hmm. And in order to make it feasible for production-wise, there's going to be X amount they need to order of the game in order to go into like production. Mm-hmm. And if they haven't seen people wanting that, then I can understand trying to gauge to see if there's enough of an interest to make it worthwhile producing games if they're not going to go only digital. So I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't feel like
at the same time though, a tweet is not a pre-order,
right?
People can like say they want it.
Yeah, but like. Why not?
It's ultimately up to a company to decide whether or not there's enough interest.
True.
And it's tough to say, hey, everyone, pre-order, and then we'll decide if we're going to move forward with it.
No, I agree. That's not necessarily where it's going.
But it has been proven that games sell well on the Switch, though.
That is true.
Like, a lot of third-party games, like Enter the Gungeon sold 1 million copies on the Switch. Mm-hmm. It's random.
Yeah. Like, I think it's some legal thing. I don't think it's like we don't want to kind of thing.
Well, Persona 5 Scramble's coming out soon, right? Or it's out in Japan. I feel like I
don't think we have a release date for the Western release.
Or a demo came out? Something came out. Like a demo came out on the Japanese eShop. Mm-hmm. So there's at least something Persona. I don't know. And then I'm sure they want to release it. There probably is like a legal hang-up.
All right, yeah. So let me ask that.
At least they seem interested, unlike EA.
Yeah, in listening. So like I was going to ask, why is Atlus so reluctant to support the Switch when they supported the 3DS and the Vita, which were two handheld systems? Like, it seems kind of strange. So, like, is there a contract like you guys were talking about earlier? Like, what?
But like, we are getting a Persona game on the Switch, so it's not like the Scramble games, and that's like on the same caliber of what we were getting on the 3DS with like the Q and Q2. Mm-hmm. It's like a spin-off.
But they also were getting full Shin Megami Tensei games on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, like Atlus supported the Switch or the 3DS a lot. It wasn't just the Persona
There were
stuff.
like 4 of them on there. There was like, I forget what they were called, but like one of them was like Demon something. One of them was just number 4. Like, but there were quite a few Shin Megami
I think it's just a
Tenseis.
legal thing then that they're trying to get around.
So there's Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, Shin Megami Tensei 4, Etrian Odyssey. That's the other one I'm thinking of. Those are on 3DS. Persona Q, the Etrian Odyssey games, the Devil Survivor games.
Devil Survivor is a Shin Megami Tensei game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And there's something called Radiant Historia. I don't know what that is. But yeah, they have a ton of games on the 3DS, and like nothing's coming to this. Well, they had Tokyo Mirage Sessions is technically them.
Yeah, but that was a port.
Yeah, and then
So why can't we port it? So why can't we port it?
Well, there's Shin Megami Tensei 5, which they announced like when the Switch was announced. Where the heck is that game?
E3. Maybe?
Oh, they did Catherine too?
Yeah. And Catherine Full Body was going to come to the Vita, and now I think they're taking Catherine Full Body and putting it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's just that was a leak, right? It was a rumor because it just got rated. Nothing was announced yet.
Oh yeah, the Korean, like you got rated by a Korean board or something.
I apologize for almost giving false information on our podcast. I'm sure that's never ever happened.
For Catherine Full Body, there's a lot of people looking for that game.
For one reason.
2 reasons.
Dude, the puzzle solving in that game is kind of hard.
Super tight.
Any final thoughts on Atlus? Making us beg, or studios making us beg, or making it known? Like what?
I don't think it's necessary anymore. Like the Switch it is a success. And if you don't want to put your games on there, that's probably at their detriment. Like they're only losing money from it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I agree.
Maybe they're just like scared to like sink in that money. It just seems foolish though. It's like, dude, like those games are so popular. Like, and people double buy stuff.
Yeah,
like I
especially
know
if it's between PS4.
Yeah, like people who owned Witcher, and then Witcher came out on Switch, and a ton of people just double bought it.
Like your brother, right? Your brother bought it.
Yeah, my brother double bought it. But yeah, I mean, it's like happening. People do it. So I don't know, guys. Just can I have Persona 5 on Switch, please? Thanks. Bye. All right, cool. So that kind of sums up our Atlus conversation. Let's move on to our final topic, which we have a completely separate video about, which is the Sonic movie. But this is our spoiler-free discussion. We're going to try our absolute hardest to talk about the spoiler-free. If we do say a spoiler, it will be bleeped out. So if you want to see a full discussion of us talking about the movie in depth with plot points, going through the whole movie, talking about all the stuff we liked, all the stuff we disliked, make sure to check out the video. It will actually be in the description of this podcast. So check that out. Okay, so the Sonic movie is finally out, and we all saw it. And I personally can't wait to talk about it. The most important question I wanted to ask you guys, is the Sonic movie better than the Super Mario Bros. Film from when we were growing up?
Yeah. There's not much that isn't better than that movie.
Yes, I very strongly believe that, yes, that is true. So let's talk about it just really briefly. What did you like? What did you dislike overall, and why? Dan, you want to start us off?
Sure. I thought that it was really good for what it is. They knew what they were going for, and they nailed it. Sonic, as a character, really fit what we've grown to know over the past few decades. And seeing him on the big screen was really fun. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I liked it a lot.
Cool. Camilo?
I liked it a lot. I went in not being like I'm not really a big fan of Sonic. I haven't really played many of the games, and I don't know much about the lore. I just kind of went in blind, and I really liked it. I liked the way they portrayed Sonic. I liked that it was more of like an origin story, because like the way they, I guess, portray him in the games is like he's more of a hero and he's like he knows what to do and stuff. And I like that this one it just kind of like showed like the origin story of him.
Cool. I guess I'll piggyback off of that. I have never been like a huge. I like grew up on NES and SNES, so like I always like had a hard time controlling Sonic. I was like, like he would go so fast, and I was like, do I need to have this level memorized to be good at it? Do I just like jump because I don't know what's happening or coming? So like Sonic was an acquired taste. I didn't start to really like it until I got older. So I did go into the movie being like, oh, I do kind of like Sonic. But my expectations for the movie were rock bottom because of all the controversy that had been happening, which we'll talk about later. And I just thought it was going to be kind of just a really bad kids movie. But I walked out and I had a huge smile on my face and I really, really liked it overall. What about you, John?
Well, you say me because I'm the most negative here, probably. And I said I think it's mediocre, but apparently that means it's trash.
No,
but I mean I don't think it's a great movie, but I don't think it's a terrible movie either. There were definitely parts that I really enjoyed. I really liked Sonic, and I really liked the James Marsden character. I don't like Jim Carrey. I don't think he's funny, so I didn't like that part. I didn't like Dr. Robotnik in the movie. But yeah, it had some good gags. It had some nice references. I'm also not that big of a fan of the Sonic games. So I didn't have that nostalgia feeling like I did for, say, Detective Pikachu. But I mean, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, but it definitely wasn't a great movie.
I guess we can talk about, without spoilers, how did we all feel about Dr. Robotnik? I disagree with you, John, and thought Jim Carrey was really good casting. So what did you guys think?
I think that they nailed Robotnik. Robotnik has always been a quirky, oddball, manic character that is just so over the top, and Jim Carrey is kind of exactly that throughout his career. So it's kind of like a really good fit, I feel like, personally.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Dan saying they like kind of nailed it when they picked Jimmy Carrey, because that's who he is. And yeah.
So I didn't like that. I didn't like that he was just Jim Carrey playing Robotnik. Like, it didn't bring anything different.
I thought he did, though.
He played, The Mask. He played Ace Ventura. They're all the same character.
Well, I think that he was kind of an egomaniac. And like,
he was like rude to like everybody.
Yeah. Super, yeah, exactly. He was like super rude and like had like a superiority complex.
Yeah, but the acting, like, it was still Jim Carrey acting as Jim Carrey,
Is that a bad thing?
Yes, I don't think it's funny. I don't like it. I don't think it's funny. I don't think he's ever. I never liked his movies. Because it's just too over the top. It's not funny.
Speaking of casting, Ben.
Actually, yeah. Real quick, I have a question for you, John. Do you think if they'd have cast someone else that didn't have a reputation for doing that type of shtick, and then they did that type of shtick because that's what Robotnik is supposed to be, would you have had a problem with their performance?
I mean, it would depend on like what kind of performance. If it's somebody acting like Jim Carrey acts, then no, I wouldn't have liked it.
Okay, fair enough. So I want to talk about the character of Sonic now, played by Ben Schwartz, who some of you guys might know from Parks and Rec. He played John Ralphio. It's kind of a random reference. He's like a character actor. He's really funny. He does some voice work. He does some stand-up as well. But he's really quick on his feet, which is something we mentioned in the spoiler cast, which is a good trait for somebody who's portraying Sonic. How did you guys feel about Ben Schwartz's portrayal of Sonic?
He did a great job.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, I liked his portrayal of him.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect. I thought the voice was really spot on. I thought just like the way his quips, whereas his joke timing was really good. I just think he played a perfectly good random blue hedgehog who is known for his speed. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I also enjoyed the interplay between him and like the other characters he meets along the way, and yeah, just think it was pretty cool. I don't know how much else we want to talk about without spoilers, because there's a plenty more for you guys to enjoy if you check out the spoiler cast. Is there any other topics, maybe Dan, that you want to talk about during the spoiler free part?
No.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to say the third question first. Would the movie have worked without the redesign? The redesign was all the rage on the internet. Everyone was freaking out. Sonic looked terrible in the first trailer. It was disgusting. I had nightmares. I vomited into my cereal when I saw the first trailer.
Wow.
But they remade him into a perfect representation of Sonic. And had they not done that, do you think the movie would have worked?
No. I also feel like once they did the redesign, they like changed other things about the movie too.
Yeah?
Because like if you watch the first trailer, like some of the music choices they had in the first trailer were kind of weird. And like those songs didn't even appear in the movie.
Right.
So like I think when they decided to do the redesign, like they really looked and they were like, okay, we need more references, like the people want more references and stuff. So like we want to be I think they like wanted to be more true to Sonic, and they like added extra stuff.
I mean, I could see that. However, not all the time that a movie trailer has a song does the song appear in the movie. It is possible they just had like Gangster's Paradise just kind of because they were wanting to go with that feel for the trailer for some reason. But I did rewatch the original trailer after watching the movie, and I didn't recognize anything as like, hey, that wasn't in the movie, or that was totally redesigned. Everything seemed like the exact same, except for the style.
The drone color, right? Weren't the drones blue and they turned them red?
I don't know.
I don't know. We can figure that out. Let us know in the comments.
The one scene in the original trailer, his line is like different or something. Like when he's like with all the bullets are coming at him.
Oh, there was a line they took out about like the steps or something.
Yeah.
But
so
that
like
appears somewhere else potentially.
Yeah. I don't know. I just have this feeling that they changed more. Like they just wanted to like appease the fans more.
I can see that. It is possible.
I mean, if you're going back to the drawing board and you have to reanimate scenes, potentially you have to reshoot scenes if it doesn't fit. So it's very possible.
Yeah, I was just surprised at how similar they actually were. I was expecting it to be totally different, but a lot of it seemed very much the same, other than what he looked like.
I mean, they couldn't definitely reshoot that whole movie. They would have just lost so much money. But
it paid off for him.
Yeah, I mean, last time I checked it had made $64 million. Yeah,
it's like the highest grossing video game movie. It surpassed Detective Pikachu for the opening weekend.
Yeah, for opening weekend. So we'll see. That leads me into my next question, if everyone's okay moving on. It's being called the best video game movie by some critics. Do you guys agree? And if not, which one actually is?
Well, okay, I want to say something about this. If we're going based on how much the movie made, if you look at what movies came out right now, there's really nothing to watch in the movie theater besides Sonic. But if we look at Detective Pikachu had to compete with Endgame. So
it's very close. It's like $3 million.
Cam comes swinging to defend Pikachu. He's like, "Hey, don't you talk about my Pikachu like that."
I mean, it's true. Like this is like the perfect time to go to the theaters to watch a movie. It's like cold out. Like where I am, it's like been raining a lot.
It's not cold. What are you talking about? Jokes.
Well, we all don't live in La La Land, so.
I do. It isn't cold here either. It was really nice out yesterday when I went to see the movie.
But isn't Birds of Prey in the theater right now?
Yeah, but that's trash.
Have you seen it?
No, but it looks like trash.
Okay.
But that's like comparing the movie to like other movies that are not video game related. Like
no, I know he went backwards. Like
okay,
he went, but he was talking about how we were talking about how much money it's making. So then we took a step back in the conversation, back to the money conversation.
Yeah, and people and like money doesn't even necessarily constitute quality necessarily.
Yeah, like Avatar
either. Yeah. So I think it wasn't. It was definitely one of the better video game movies, I think, but certainly not the best. For example, Resident Evil. I think the original Resident Evil movie was a very, very solid video game movie that was also just a good movie in general. Sonic is a good video game movie, but it's not necessarily as solid storytelling-wise if you aren't able to suspend your disbelief for certain things. It was much more of a cartoony... Yeah, and yeah, it fits within the realm of what they're creating, but it falls apart when you study it as film and cinema.
Wreck-It Ralph is the best video game movie, and I'll just say that if you say it's not a video game movie, it's
a movie about video games. I'll give you that, even though there was not a video game source material for it.
I mean,
that makes it even better. It's like there is a video game based on Wreck-It Ralph.
Well, I mean, wasn't it based like loosely on Wrecking Crew?
I would constitute that as a video game movie.
Wrecking Crew
because of all the references,
like merged with original Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, I would say that Wreck-It Ralph is a video game related movie.
I would say a video game movie doesn't have to be based on one specific video game. It just has to like cover the concept.
Yeah.
But the first one's definitely better. I didn't like.
But then you could say Ready Player One was a video game movie.
Yeah, it is. It may. I would say that too. I think that's a video game movie. That's based off a book though.
And a video game book, yeah.
So Ready Player One then.
I personally like Detective Pikachu over Sonic. Probably just because of the nostalgia feel. There's not that many good video game movies. There's a lot of really bad ones.
But now we're getting to a time where like everybody who grew up in video games is now in charge of studios. So I feel like we'll start to see more video game movies in the future.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said about cashing in on the nostalgia. and that's kind of what you have to do to some extent when your source material is a video game with minimal plot. Yeah.
Hit bad guy. Win.
Save animals.
Camilo, what is your favorite video game movie?
That's tough. Probably I'll say Wreck-It Ralph too.
Yes! Awesome. All right, cool.
Wreck-It Ralph was really good.
So that wraps up all of our major topics, but let's get into what's coming out this week and what we've been playing. On February 17th, we have Corruption 2029. Has nothing to do with Cyberpunk 2077.
50 years earlier.
Yeah, it's a little prequel because people are upset at the delay. Mokoko is coming out on PC. February 18th, we have Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th Anniversary Bundle on PS4 and Xbox One. We have Drone Champions League, the game, on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Shenmue 3 Story Quest Pack DLC on PC and PS4.
There's a DLC for that?
I mean, there's Shenmue fans out there. I don't know if there's enough of them to warrant DLC, but... on February 19th, we have the 3000th Duel coming to Switch. On February 20th, we have Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition coming to Switch. Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2. Okay.
It's about time. Right. They've been delaying that for a while.
Coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, everything that it's on. Puyo Puyo 2 coming to Switch. That's cool. I think I have the first Puyo Puyo, not the Puyo Puyo Tetris, just Puyo Puyo.
Puyo Puyo Tetris is amazing.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is coming to Switch. Is it one of those
Yes, it's about time.
The Genesis Classics one?
Yeah.
I really hope it's Sega Ages. The port of number 1 from Sega Ages was excellent.
Great.
They did a great job.
That's awesome. Under Night in Birth EXE Late CLR. Okay. It's coming out of PS4 Switch. Sorry, I have not heard of that game. On February 21st, our final game for the week, Seal Fledge?
What are these games? I've never heard of them.
I don't know. I did not research any of these. I apologize. But if those are the games that you're looking forward to, they're coming out this week, so make sure to check your local store. That game is coming out on PC and Switch. Moving on to what we are playing. Camilo, what you been playing?
I've been playing some Pokemon. I am trying to gear up for the International Challenge, which is happening at the end of February.
Cool.
If you participate in it, you can actually, if you do well enough, you can actually win like championship points to like actually participate in like a regional or national league. So those are cool.
Nice.
So I'm making a new team. I'm also been like using Pokemon Home and like trying to bring over all of like the newly released hidden abilities and stuff that you can't get in Sword and Shield, but like now you can like import them. So I've been trying to like go through the list and get them all. So yeah.
Nice. Dan, what are you up to?
I'm working my way through Assassin's Creed franchise. I finished up the first Assassin's Creed and blasted through Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh, wow.
I gotta say, Assassin's Creed 2 really grabbed me in a way that Assassin's Creed 1 didn't quite.
It's such a good... That is one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah, it's really good. It's definitely not without its flaws in like some of the mechanics of climbing when you need it to work.
Just give it like 7 more games, you'll be fine.
Yeah. They figure it out. You're still deep in the past.
Yeah, but yeah, I can definitely see myself continuing this one even though I finished it already.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like the first game I ever 100%ed.
Nice.
Oh, GG. John, speaking of 100%ing games, what have you recently 100%ed?
I just completed the Galar Dex. I didn't complete the national Dex in the home in Pokemon Home, but I finally got, the 400 Galar Pokemon. Got my shiny charm. Got my cool little certificate saying I'm a Pokemon master. And I'm really enjoying Pokemon. It kind of, zens me out at night when I just want to, spin around in a circle for a while.
Yeah.
I found out you get a really cool reward for completing the national.
Oh, I know.
Dex.
I saw it. And I want to do it, but it's going to take forever. I don't have anywhere
you
near.
get an original color Magearna, which has like never been released.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks like a Pokeball.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, I have been playing on my Twitch stream, #plug.
No plugs on here.
To you and gosh darn TikTok.
I also have a Twitch.
Yes. Camilo. Okay, Camilo's. We'll do it at the end. I'm playing Persona 4 and I'm loving it. I had Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, but I never got past the first dungeon. But now, since I'm streaming it, I have more time to sit down and like really play it. It was a little grindy for the first couple of hours, but like now I kind of feel like I'm in the swing of things and I really understand the combat system. I love the character interactions. It's so much fun. I wanted to play it before I jumped into 5. So that's it. I'm also playing a little bit of World of Warcraft still. I'm sorry, everyone. I feel shame. I feel shame in my body. Shame. I'm sorry, but I like it. It's fun. I like co-op games.
Play what you like.
Exactly. Play what you like. So that's it, guys. Real quick, another plug. We've already plugged it like 3 times. Go watch the Sonic spoiler cast. It's really interesting. We talk about Sonic at length.
Go watch the movie and then go watch the spoilers.
Yeah, only if you've seen the movie.
I mean, you could...
Or skip the movie.
Yeah, watch this. I don't care if you watch the movie or not. Go watch my video. Go watch our video, the Sonic video. Okay.
Instead of buying a ticket and watching Sonic, just watch our video over and over again until you get to the run length of the movie.
Exactly.
Which is like once.
Okay, cool. So anyways, So I'm going to plug our personal channels really quick, just so that we, as I said we were. Camilo is on streaming on Twitch. What is you want to plug your own stuff?
Yeah, it's twitch.tv, so that's Cooltrainer Camilo. And I'm also uploading to YouTube. That's just the / Cooltrainer Camilo.
Dan, where can people find you on the internet?
I've got a Twitch and a YouTube. My Twitch is twitch.tv / the T Lounge, and I do video game stuff, Assassin's Creed right now, and also Dan Marchetti on the YouTubes. Nice. And I just posted a pickups haul video.
Was it over 100 games?
It was.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I have that in my 2 watch list. So. But I was out of town, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. John, where can people find you on the internet?
So I am on Mixer as Johniibo. I'm on TikTok as Johniibo. I'm on YouTube as Johniibo. Honestly, I don't post that much right now because of my work, but I do post TikToks a lot because they take 5 minutes, and I got to get content out there. And they're actually pretty good.
Nice. You can find me on twitch.tv / PhilFantastic. You can find me on youtube.com / PhilFantastic. I post about once a week on YouTube. I stream about 4 to 5 times a week on Twitch. Currently only streaming JRPGs. So if you're interested in watching JRPGs, that's what you'll find on my Twitch channel. And you can also follow my social media. Just go to my website, philfantastic.com. All the links are there. Just click on everything. Okay, cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and ring that notification bell. You can also check out the audio version of the podcast on Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes. Join our Discord to keep in touch with us and follow our Twitter and Instagram. All of these links can be found in the description. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.